Also in caskets, two New York City women. Bessie Velasquez and Yoda Demetrio were killed by an illegal alien who was allegedly driving drunk. The man, 24-year-old Daryush Omar, an Afghan citizen, apparently came to the USA illegally when he was just 6 years old. Federal authorities have been trying to deport him for 14 years, but because of the immigration chaos, he is still here despite a number of criminal beefs. So, 3 human beings are dead because of irresponsible conduct and a failed government. The New York Times and Newsday, 2 liberal papers, have covered the Lucero murder extensively, as they should. It is a horrible crime, and 7 young men may pay a steep price for being violently stupid. But the Times and Newsday have pretty much ignored the deaths of the 2 women. This is a pattern in America. People killed by illegal aliens can expect little coverage from a media that wants amnesty for foreign nationals here illegally. But in the end, it is the federal government that is truly responsible for the deaths and for the entire illegal alien problem. The Houston Chronicle is reporting that ICE has lost control of violent aliens in Harris County, and the result has been a frightening crime wave. Again, the federal government is primarily in place to protect Americans, and every time we turn around, we see failure in that role. President-elect Obama has not been an immigration warrior. The issue has been dwarfed by the economic mess, but it is up to him, to Barack Obama, to provide leadership on the issue, or many more people will wind up dead. Zero tolerance for criminal, illegal aliens. Zero tolerance for Americans whose hatred leads to violence, period. And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight. The Factors Is It Legal team has been investigating the cases I cited in Talking Points and the Houston situation. The 2 women in Queens, and one was from Brooklyn, who got killed in a DUI by this guy who was a suspect in a murder, right?
Exactly. He had not been indicted on another murder. The DA didn't come up with enough evidence. So he walked. And he walked not only from that, but he walked 14 years from ICE and the customs, just not doing anything.
Did he have any other criminal convictions, this guy?
No.
This Afghan guy?
No, just that he was not actually indicted on the murder, the previous murder, because the DA didn't have enough evidence.
I thought he had some DUI stuff. No?
I don't think so. I don't believe that he did.
No, the DUI charge was dropped, and the only one that they really went after him on was an obscenity charge.
Right.
Which I think
nothing.
But he was in the system a couple of times.
Oh, yeah. They've been trying to deport him, but they're not doing enough. I mean,
all right, so he's here. This guy is an Afghan, Pakistani origin, Afghan citizen. He's here. They've been trying to get him out for 14 years. That's insane.
ICE had this guy in its custody at least 3 times. The feds sought to deport him at least 4 times. Nonetheless,
so why didn't they deport him?
Here's how it looks. The paperwork that they were waiting on from Afghanistan, where he's a citizen, never came. And the feds aren't allowed to hold you indefinitely.
Why do they have to wait for paperwork from Afghanistan?
That's my question, too. Afghanistan is in the middle of a war. It may be kind of hard for them to get their paperwork in order.
And send them back to Kabul and then throw them off, and that's it.
I couldn't agree more.
Complete inefficiency, though, in all of the administration.
Okay, we understand that.
I've had cases trying to try defendants like this, and the defendants don't show up.
I got to get into this, though, briefly. You guys live in New York. You both live in New York, okay? Big headlines about Lucero murder with these high school kids. This, you got to look at nothing in the New York Times. Now, do you think, Wheel, it's because the New York Times and other liberal media sympathize with illegal aliens? Do you think that's why this isn't covered to the extent that the other one?
Yes, because they don't want what you want, which is a zero-tolerance policy. And until we get a zero-tolerance policy...
Even for criminal aliens,
absolutely, they don't want that. And until we get a zero-tolerance policy in the government, there's no reason we can't do that.
Do you think it's that? Do you think it's media bias?
Listen, I don't know. It's all speculation.
But you got 2 dead New York City women.
I'll tell you what my speculation is. They seem to think, given their criticism of those who have been outspoken against illegal immigration, they seem to think that that in and of itself is race baiting. They're looking to blame the attack by those 7 punks on the Hispanic on Levy. They are looking to blame people who speak out against it, so they may not want to be one of the ones who speaks out against it.
This is what Americans don't understand. If you've got 2 American citizens killed by an illegal alien, you get no coverage in the news of that. Zero. These women get, the New York Post, you had an article, but that was it. Okay? But the other one, the other guy from Ecuador, huge front page story. There's not something wrong with that. ICE has lost control of how many?
178 people. I mean, this is incredible, and this is
they don't know where they are.
They don't know where they are, and this is what I'm saying. I mean, I've had cases where defendants don't show up.
Okay, but keep it here. Keep it here.
And this is what happened in Houston.
How did they lose 178 people?
They absconded on their bail. The bail was too low, and they take off.
All right, so these were illegal aliens.
Yes. 178.
Charged with a crime.
Yes, 30 of them
given bail, which should never happen.
No. Right.
And then they split.
Yeah, they don't come back. That's
Is that what you have learned on
That's
this?
exactly what happens. And
178 of them.
Yeah, 170. And as she points out, 30 of them were alleged to be felons. And we're talking murder, child molestation.
And they were given bail? All given bail?
They were given bail. Exactly right. And here's the problem. Here's what happens. When they try to set, higher bail requirements, the lawyers run in and object, saying it's unconstitutional. You can't have these ridiculously high bails, not for murder, but for lesser charges. You got to give people an opportunity to get out.
But if the feds took them as soon as they were arrested and got them out of the local system and into the federal system, they couldn't do that.
So the feds have been completely lax down there, and it's really that even ICE admits it. ICE admits that they're understaffed down in that region.
Maybe.
The locals, they have a system set up so that the jailers can see whether you've got an illegal there, but the prosecutors can't check before you go into jail.
All right. Well, we're hoping the Obama administration, you got to change this so you can have more.